In this video, how to play blues right across the neck using caged. So I had a question on Patreon from Peter asking about playing over a blues using the 5 pentatonic caged positions, and he was asking, do I switch positions as the chords change? Like, do I play the A minor position over the A chord and then the D minor position over the D chord and so on? Now this is a pretty common misconception, but the answer is no. When playing blues, you can use the same position throughout over all the chords, but of course each position does offer something unique, so it's a stylistic choice when you want to switch. But you definitely want to be able to transition around the neck to add movement, variation, energy to your playing. So let's see how we develop this. So you're about to hear me play through a 12-bar blues in the key of A major. I'll be using the A minor pentatonic, starting in the first position here at the 5th fret, but then every couple of bars shifting up to the next position. Now as you watch, just listen out for this lick, which I'll be using in every position. So let's break down what I was doing there, and essentially I was starting off in each position with some of the unique content that each shape offers, but then coming back to this repeating lick to show that even though we've got all these positions, they still all contain something very familiar. I'm going to assume you know the 5 pentatonic shapes already, but if not, then you need to watch the video linked below. So in position 1, I started off with this Chuck Berry-ish kind of thing, where I'm bending up at the 7th fret of the G string and then playing the 5th fret on the B and high E strings together, kind of strumming across those. Now this is a really classic lick, but it's really unique to position 1. You can't really play it easily in any of the other positions. Then into our repeating lick. Now this lick happens in what I call the primary pentatonic box, which we see in every position. Here in position 1, it's 5 and 7 on the D string with 5 and 7 on the G string. And I say this a lot, but this little box is really the home base for most rock and blues playing. So you see, we're just creating this little lick within that box, but something that happens first, I'm sliding into it from the 8th fret down to the 7th on the G, and that just brings in a little glimpse of this blue note, this E flat here. So it's slide down, 8 to 7 on the G, pull off to 5, then 7, the root note on the D, and then 5 on the G, little microtonal bend up for extra blues, and then back to that root on the D string at 7. And like I say, we're going to see this lick in every position. Then on to position 2, let's just remind ourselves of the shape. And what I'm taking from this as my unique content is some sliding double stops. That kind of thing, where I'm starting here, 7 on the G, 8 on the B, and then sliding up 2 frets, little flip back in, and then I'm also using the double stop, 8th fret on the B and high E together. That kind of thing, and then into our repeating lick. Our primary pentatonic box is now going to be here, 8 and 10 on the B with 8 and 10 on the high E. That's that little box. Play that exact same lick as we played there, but now higher up here in position 2. Then position 3, and the unique thing I want to do here is bring in an extra note, this B here at the 12th fret on the B string, which falls in between the 2 pentatonic notes that we already have on that string. And what I'm going to do is make a little half step bend up to get to that note from the pentatonic, the C there at the 12th fret. So little half step bend really adds a lot of extra melody to this otherwise kind of a bit bland pentatonic sound. So there we go, half step bend, and then I'm using it again in a little run down, which gets me then back to our repeating lick. So our primary pentatonic box here is 10 and 12 on the A with 10 and 12 on the D, G, A, C, D. And there's that exact same lick again. Onwards to position 4. And the unique thing I want to target here is some bends on the upper strings. So firstly, 15th fret of this high E, full bend up there to hit our root note of A, always useful. And then on the B string, we can also bend up at the 15th fret. But with this one, we can also hit the unbent note on the high E at the same time for that string on string sound. That kind of a vibe. And then in this position, our primary pentatonic box is going to be 12 and 14 on the G with 13 and 15 on the B. So there's a little offset there as we move across the strings, but then we can play our repeating lick just like that. Then position 5, and what I'm doing here is this kind of thing, where we're hammering on 15 to 17 on the B string and then 15 on the high E. And this is really targeting this G natural here, which works as like a minor third, a blue note over the 5 chord of E, and then run down into our repeating lick there. So here's our primary pentatonic box, 15 and 17 on the low E, 15 and 17 on the A. So we can play that same lick just there. And that gets us all the way back to position 1, but now an octave higher. And I'm basically doing the same thing as I started with in position 1. But up here, this time instead of strumming across those 2 notes on the top 2 strings, I'm just picking them individually. And there's our repeating lick. End with a bend up to the root there at the 20th fret. So there you have it. I hope that was useful, and I'll see you in the next video.